Corrections. The following paragraph, taken down from dictation, contains a number of errors in grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Indicate where these are by underlining the errors. Then correct the errors in the space provided under each line, making only the necessary corrections. Do not rewrite the passage in your own words. The first sentence has been done for you. The history of medicine is one of the long fight against disease. The oldest and most terrible enemy man has ever known. During the past 20 or 30 is wrong. No H. Or so, however. There has. A tremendous. Tremendous should have a U. Advance in medical research. Period. Nowadays, capital N. Most of our diseases and illnesses, illnesses as well as and U for injury should be I, yes. Can be sent by doctors. Being ill now is vastly. Research has been done in Egypt. That is but capital B. Strangely. No. Now believe. Doctors now believe that no one ever died simply because he's old. He is. Death is actually caused by disease. With an S, not with a C. Or illnesses. Many of which can with an N be cured with a D. Okay. The history of medicine is one of the long fights against disease. The oldest and most terrible enemy man has ever known. During the past 20 or 30 years or so,
an advantage of this editing task is economy. Several elements of writing can be tested with the use of a single stimulus. It can also be objectively scored. Furthermore, it can have a good washback effect. Students can be encouraged to edit their own work. On the other hand, what is an integrative test? An integrative test, by contrast, is one that requires an examinee to combine many language elements or language skills to complete or perform a task. Examples of integrative tests of writing ability are taking notes from a lecture being listened to, writing from dictation, completing a closed passage, or composition writing. To be able to perform any of these tasks, one must invoke not just one, but more skills. Let's look at an example of an integrative test, the closed test. Why is a closed test an integrative test? In completing a closed passage, one has to be able to comprehend not just a section of the passage, but of larger context within or even outside the passage itself. Surely, a closed passage calls for many abilities or skills in order to complete one, such as grammatical skills, vocabulary skills, and decoding skills. In fact, it is said that once an item tests more than one skill, that item ceases to be a discrete point, but is in fact already integrative. Another dichotomy observed in testing is that between structural testing and communicative testing. Structural testing is characteristically discrete point testing. Most often, structural tests follow the discrete point principle of testing one element at a time. Thus, it can be said that structural tests are discrete point in nature. Communicative testing, on the other hand, is a kind of testing which advocates the integration of skills. It is one that focuses on communication within a social context. This kind of communication is not an inherent goal of structural language teaching and testing for that matter. As earlier indicated, structural testing is focused on discrete testing of separate language skills or elements, and there is no concern for achieving the purpose of communication within a social domain. In a communicative test, one needs to be able to combine many skills in order to perform on it effectively. This makes communicative tests also integrative tests. However, they are more than just integrative, for communicative tests, while requiring the ability to combine many skills, also measure the ability to do so in the context of being able to communicate with ease and effect in certain sociolinguistic settings. Thus, it is worthy to repeat the notion of language being a communicative device, and as such, it is always the case that the social context determines the language behavior of participants in a communication situation. In summary, with respect to the different kinds of language tests, this conclusion can be made. Structural, discrete point tests are indirect measures of language ability, while communicative tests are integrative and are direct measures of language ability. In a few moments, we shall continue to talk about the types of writing tests. Meantime, here's our station break. Stay tuned.